The following is a project of our nonprofit newsroom. Support Midcoast Morning and local journalism today at chly.ca/donate. Local news doesn't survive without local support.
Hello and welcome to Midcoast Morning. I'm Joe Pugh. Nanaimo's night market organizer says the summer staple continued to grow this year. Last night was the final market of the season, now in its 6th year, the 4th since a 2-year COVID-induced hiatus. I headed downtown yesterday afternoon while the market was being set up.
Hi, my name is Rini and I'm the Marketing and Events Coordinator at the Greater Nanaimo Chamber of Commerce. This is my first year handling the night market. The market has run over 6 years, but this is my first time.
And as we're here at the setup for the final night market of the season in 2025, how has it gone for you in this first year of running things?
It has been pretty interesting. For me, initially, I thought it's a big challenge that you're running over a huge market which has an attendance of over 5,000 people, over 200 vendors coming in for the night market. Initially, it was a challenge, and with the streets not ready, I was super nervous. The first night was a little bit challenging. But at 5, when the clock, ticked 5, and the way the market looked was so perfect, we didn't even realize there was construction happening. It was exactly the way how we envisioned.
You talked a little bit there about how there's been some construction. Everyone who's been downtown in Nanaimo will know. And the first night market was kind of the target date for that construction to wrap up. It wasn't quite there. Well, what was that experience like for you?
It was not just us. It was the downtown merchants as well, waiting for the night market, to see how the street would turn out. Even when we started loading in at 2 o'clock, we were a little bit anxious because a lot of things were happening. But I'll tell you something. For me, construction has been a blessing in disguise. I've been telling it over and over to people that we were able to expand the market a little bit this year. All these 5 years, we just had it on the commercial street. This year, we've been able to do it on the Bastion as well. So that way, we had the access to the Bastion, making it a safe market. And it was pretty good. We got good feedbacks from the downtown merchants. We have received great feedback from people on social media. And for me, this year has been every week we have been working on the feedback. Every year we have been monitoring feedback on the social media, emails, in person. And every feedback, every smile, every picture that has been captured has given us a, motivation to work for next week. So we've been working on each feedback. We've tried to, it is always good and bad, but then you try to learn from your feedback.
What sort of things are you hearing as feedback?
So we heard, first of all, the good feedback was that how the market has been, expanded towards on the Bastion, and then the vendors we have been able to bring in this year. The bad feedback is obviously because of the construction, there were wooden planks and then there are people tripping over. So these were a few challenges, but we had our first aid thanks to a tactical medical who's been giving us the feedback. So we have had feedback from the people, just, small feedback that how we can, cover up the spaces, the noise. There are a lot of people who complain about the noise as well, which is we try to bring it down. It's an open space. But I think these are all smaller feedbacks, which I think we're able to, to understand and work on it.
You threw out a number earlier, 5,000 people. What has the attendance been like over the season in total? How has it changed from the first market to kind of an average market?
The first market was a hit. We had so many people coming down to the market. The market runs on an average between 5,000 to 8,000. There are nights which we have peaked to 8,000 as well. And then there were 2 rainy days where we had a limited number of vendors attending, but people came in. So we had a lot of attendees coming in even on the rainy nights. It brought out the attendance a little bit, but we still had, a good attendance throughout the market. And how do we monitor? We have real-time pictures of the market. We just every hour we click pictures around the area. So that's how we do an estimate of how the attendance is like.
And what can you tell me as far as the impacts of the market on the broader downtown business community?
This market, for me, I think I've heard this is one of the feedback which I've heard. Everybody on the commercial street wait for the market to happen because that drives a lot of people, not just from the south part, but from the north as well. We have people visiting from like the nearby areas, Nanaimo, we have people coming from Courtney, we have people coming Courtney from Duncan. There are so many vendors and people coming down for the commercial street night market. So even the vendors the downtown merchants have always been talking about it, that we help them bring people down to that's the essence of the market, to bring people to the commercial street night market. So, and downtown as well. So I think it has been quite helpful.
How have things been from what you've maybe heard, since this is your first year doing it, in the pre-COVID market to the post-COVID market?
Each year has been different. We have had a lot of vendor interest. The moment the market is live, it's sold out. Each week we have vendors coming in, checking in if do we have space in the market. So it is a hit for all these years. I've always seen the market always been sold out. That's what I've always heard about the market. So the changes have been, we've been able to help support the small businesses, small home-based businesses as well, to come and sell their products. Local handmade products are a hit amongst the people. So yeah. And we've been able to, since I told you, we've been able to accommodate food trucks, different kind of food trucks with different cuisines. We have been able to do that. So I think, that's the biggest change that I think over the years has seen, that a lot of change in the market vendors, a lot of the attendance has grown every year, and then the food trucks,
Do you have a way of measuring what the economic impact is in terms of dollars that get spent, or the change it makes in Nanaimo's economy?
We do have a system to do that. I think over the last few years they do have a track sheet and see how it is. This year we mostly do it towards once the market is over, we send out the information, and by the end of this year we're able to tell that. So for this year I haven't done it, but I hope it's a good number.
Are there any plans for how the market might evolve next year or in the future?
Not yet. This year the whole layout of the street has changed because of the planters and the curbs and everything. So there are few things which we were not able to implement, and because we were not sure of how it would look like, right? So there are few things which we hope to do next year and try to accommodate more people and make it more safer. So making the market more safe is a biggest priority. We try to barricade the market entry points with this year. We've tried our level best to make the market safer after all the incidents that have happened in the past in market areas and public areas like the Lapu Lapu festival and everything. So we've tried to do that, and next year we plan to make it more safe. And one thing which I really hope, the bollards on the plaza, we have had few feedback on that as well, like people tripping over the bollard space. So we've tried our level best to put the flags and everything. So it's just safety perspective of thing, and then let's hope we get to see new vendors or new entertainers or new attraction for the market. But it's still in the planning phase.
You talked a little bit about maybe some of the feedback you got, or the opening night with the construction. Once the construction was done, this phase of it, how did that actually impact the market? What was the impact of the new look?
The new look, again, the impact of new look for us was that we were able to expand the market. For us, it meant a lot. We really were nervous and anxious about how the market would look like, because it's smaller space on the street now, and the plant is being occupied, taking more of this street space. But I think once we're excited when the street gets ready. We're really excited how it would look like. So, and it's still in the finishing stage. I think they still yet to put the decorations and everything out. So we're just hoping for that. I mean, once it is ready, we're excited for the next year as well. So that was initially we didn't, the construction, the only thing that was that if the street would be ready, because last year we were able to accommodate in a row, a lot of people we had a few cut downs on the booth allocations this year. So we had to cut down on few intakes of the booth because we are not sure about how it would look like. So yeah.
How many vendors were there? How many food trucks were there on any given market?
Any given market, we had... So I'll tell you about the spots. On top of the bastion, we had 5 food trucks full-time available. And on the lower bottom, it was 6 and 6 on the plaza. So almost around 18 to 20 food trucks were there, plus the food vendors on the plaza as well. So apart from the food trucks that we had, food trailers we had few vendors, home-based bakeries, home-based snacks on the plaza as well.
Is there anything else you'd like to let people know about how this night market season has gone?
I'm happy, and I really want to hear feedback from people. We want more people to connect with us and let us know how they feel about the market, because it's very valuable for us. As a chamber, we value every feedback that has been given to us. For us, we want to hear from the people. What do they expect from the market? What is their, what are the complaints? What are the good things that you felt about the market? So that's what I want from them to hear.
This has served as a big gathering space in downtown. You suggest, like on the low end, 5,000 people coming out. Now that the seasons are changing and we're heading into the fall, into the winter, is there any kind of equivalent? What is the kind of, for the Chamber of Commerce and the Nanaimo downtown business community, what might fill the void until next year's night market?
I'm pretty much sure that the Downtown Business Association does a lot of events. They do the Christmas market. They have a picnic in Plaza at the end of the summer season. So I think on Sunday they have their picnic in Plaza. So they keep doing their events. So the purpose for every major organization is to bring people to downtown, to help support each other, the businesses across the communities, support each other. We support the DNBA. The DNBA supports us. The city has always been, and I would really like to mention that with all the construction happening, the communication with the city was very clear with us. Like every time, it was so easy and smooth. I mean, if there's a challenge that we faced, it was heard. If we had anything that has been, there was no stopping from the city. Like we had the issue, we'll tell them, we'll get to hear from them. So that's another thing that has happened. So yeah.
Rini, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. And I hope to see more people today downtown and celebrate with us, the whole community. It's just not one person's job. It's so many people involved, so many businesses, communities, sponsors, city, the RCMP. There's so many people involved in making this market a success. And we're so happy. The visitors, it's good. Like I really hope we get a lot of people coming today.
Rini Jose is Marketing and Events Coordinator with the Greater Nanaimo Chamber of Commerce. Also, yesterday afternoon, I spoke with a few vendors ahead of the season's final Nanaimo Night Market.
Yeah, my name is Erica. I live here in Nanaimo for 5 years, and I make stickers and notebooks and a lot of stuff with paper. That's what I make.
And you've been selling that here at the Nanaimo Night Market this season, that's right?
Yeah, I'm here selling. Actually, I started last year, but I'm here this year too.
Does it seem like the crowd is larger than last year?
Yeah, actually, yes. I think that Trump tariffs make people travel inside Canada, so I feel like that has a much more tourists right now. Yeah, and then the movement is quite high. Everybody can feel it.
What does it mean for you? What does this space, the fact that this night market exists here every night, every Thursday night in the summer, downtown Nanaimo, what does that mean for you?
I think it's a great opportunity to people that make art and crafts to show up and show your stuff, and actually it's a great place to network into if you are selling stuff.
I'm Lynn, known as Crafty Linny. Dorothy, Coombs Country Crafts.
And it is the last Nanaimo Night Market. We're here in the kind of setup hours. First of all, have you been regular attendees as vendors at the market this year?
I have. This is Dorothy's second year. This is my fifth year.
How has this year been in comparison to some of the other ones?
Oh, great. I'm in a different spot every year. It's been really good being down this end near the highway. I've enjoyed it. What do you say, Dorothy?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's really good here.
Has there been a noticeable difference? Does it seem like there have been more people, more attendance than in past years for either of you?
About the same, but it's a lot of fun watching all the people come up and down this road. It's sights you do see.
Yeah, no, it's great for the locals just coming down here, and then they run into people they know and you see how happy they are. It's a super thing for Nanaimo.
How does this market compare to maybe others on the market circuit, if that's a thing for both of you?
I used to do the Parksville Market and drive up there, and then when this one started, I tried this one, and I just like the vibe way better. I like it, yeah.
Vendors at last night's final Nanaimo Night Market of the year.
Midcoast Morning is part of our nonprofit newsroom project, supported by listeners like you. Keep this program on the air by funding it today with a monthly sustaining donation at chly.ca/donate. We've got tote bags and shirts if you need an incentive.
While the night market is wrapped up for the year, another downtown event is hoping to bring the community together this weekend. I spoke with organizer Fred Jeffrey.
My name is Fred Jeffrey. I own Lucid, which is a clothing store at 35 Commercial in downtown Nanaimo. And I'm also the chair of the Downtown Nanaimo Business Association.
And you are organizing an event that's going to bring people together this weekend here in downtown in Diana Krall Plaza. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, that's the hope. Picnic in the Plaza is a free music festival on Sunday, August 31st. It goes from 3 o'clock till 9 o'clock. We're featuring some great local female musicians, as well as our headliner, who is Blue Moon Marquee. I'm told they're the winners of a couple Junos in the last few years. A great band out of the Cowichan Valley. We've also got our host, the unstoppable Connie Smudge, who is a rather iconic drag performer from Nanaimo, who now lives in Vancouver. And on top of that, there'll be food trucks and market stalls and lots of fun all afternoon.
What's the story behind the picnic in the plaza? Why did you start doing it?
Well, through the Downtown Nanaimo Business Association, we really wanted to engage Diana Krall Plaza, which seems to be a little bit of an underutilized space. There's a lot left of the imagination there, and so we just let our imagination run wild and tried to figure out, an event that would bring people downtown, that would highlight just how beautiful of a spot that is, that I think, like I say, goes unnoticed as just kind of a big empty chasm quite often. But as anybody that's been there knows, there's a really beautiful view of our harbor. The city's done a great job of the landscaping around there. And it's just kind of this nice little pocket that we have that, as I say, it just needed a little engagement. So
one of the other events, one of the other times of the year that space gets utilized is coming to a close. It's the end of the Nanaimo Night Market. What has that event meant to you in the downtown business community? It's been such an amazing event. We're really grateful that the Chamber of Commerce has put that together. I'm not sure it's in its 6th or 7th year running now. I'm not sure exactly, but every year it builds upon the previous year. More people come down. The actual area that it covers expands. There's more vendors. There's more food trucks. There's more varied type of entertainment. This year, one of the features that was actually an unintended consequence of the much maligned construction that's been happening downtown was that rather than having visitors to the market have to cross traffic on Bastion Street, they actually closed Bastion Street and then expanded some market stalls as well as some food trucks in that little pocket. And it made it just, the traffic flows so much better. It's actually, as I say, that expansion has given room for more vendors and a few more great food trucks. One of my favorites is the Spud truck that's there. I can't remember the exact name of it, but you get a baked potato with all the fixins and and then a nice lemonade just down the way too. So you talked a little bit about the much maligned construction was the phrase you used. What has that experience been like for you as the construction kind of wrapped up almost just in time for the beginning of the night market season earlier this year? So for me as a business owner, it didn't have a huge impact. There is always a discussion of how it may have affected traffic, how folks may have avoided downtown. I think there was perhaps a misconception as a visitor to downtown, just how disruptive the construction was. And a lot of that came from a lot of bad press. Now,
I'm speaking from the point of view of somebody who didn't have the street torn up right in front of my business. I certainly feel a lot of empathy for those merchants in that area and just how disruptive that is. Limited access, the noise, the dust, the dirt, the list goes on for the struggle that they had to deal with. And I can't imagine if you were already experiencing a dip in your sales and you're sitting in your shop and you're waiting for people to come, and there's traffic flow issues, and then there's a loud machine working out your door, and then you've got dust coming through your door. It has a huge impact. It has an impact on your livelihood. It would even have an impact on your mental health, I think. So, it's in my opinion, we're really lucky that we have a city council that was willing to invest in our downtown and make that effort. I think there was probably some flaws in the rollout of the project, but it's also something that's relatively new, I think, for the contractors, for the businesses, for the city. Doing this kind of a project in such a high traffic area is difficult, and it comes with a lot of problems and challenges. And I think that those will be considered, as I understand there are future phases. So I really hope that, that some of the things that presented the greatest challenges, we can reflect on those and perhaps mitigate some of those issues next time around. And I also really, really more than anything hope that with the completion of the project, those businesses, my neighbors up there that were impacted the most, will feel a real bounce back. It's beautiful up there now. They've got the landscaping in and the benches in, and I think it's designed. It took a lot to get there, but I do think it was worth those pains. So,
what has the change been that you've seen since this phase of the construction wrapped up and was finished?
So as far as I know, there still is a few more pieces to be fixed. The change I've noticed mostly in this summer, and I don't know that it's entirely related to the construction, although it would be easy to tie the increased traffic that we've seen over the summer. I think that's in part related to the night market, which brings more folks down and is re-engaging our Nanaimo population with our downtown, and particularly after that period of uncertainty when they weren't sure what they would find when they came down here. Also, I do think more broadly that we've had a real bump in tourism on Vancouver Island and specifically in Nanaimo. Most people that come to the island, particularly the North Island, have to come through Nanaimo, and more in the past few years, and particularly this year, whether it's a consequence of the great work Tourism Nanaimo does or foot traffic off of the Hello Ferry, but we're definitely seeing an increase in visitor traffic. People that aren't just stopping through, we definitely see that, but people that are actually coming here to stay. So we've had a great summer downtown. I think a lot of people have noticed the change in energy, the amount of people that are walking around. Some of that is a consequence of finishing that disruptive construction project, but I think also it's a greater will for, let's say, locals to stay more local, be they from Vancouver, Victoria, or other parts of the mainland. We're seeing Canadians from all over that are choosing to stay on this side of the border, and I don't need to go into the details of why.
So there has been a noticeable bump from, say, last summer.
I would say so. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's definitely been a noticeable bump in traffic.
How do you plan to try and keep that momentum going now that the season is changing, the night market is wrapping up, we're heading into the fall, heading into the winter?
Well, my real hope is that some of those visitors will continue into into the fall. It's still a beautiful time to travel on the island. Also, I really hope that through events like the night market, Pan Picnic in the Plaza, and there's so many other great, wonderful events, too many to name, that have been happening downtown that have been, I think, like I say, getting locals more reacquainted with what we have to offer down here. And I do think that I'm hopeful that will, like I say, re-engage locals and through the winter months when the visitors to Nanaimo are down, that the locals will sort of come in and fill in and take their places. We're really lucky to have a lot of loyal visitors that are from Nanaimo downtown.
Is there anything else you'd like to let people know, maybe particularly about the picnic in the park, a picnic in the Plaza, I should say, this coming Sunday?
It's just going to be a great time. The weather looks like it's going to be awesome. We've got a lot planned in terms of really dressing the space up. The travel bar will be there, serving some drinks, all your favorite food trucks, and some really great musicians and performers through the afternoon. So I really hope to see a lot of folks come on down.
Folks don't have to do anything in advance. There's no ticket to buy. You can just show up and spend the afternoon.
No tickets at all. It's an absolutely free event. Just wander down somehow, ride your bike, find some parking, and come down and see us.
Well, Fred, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me about it.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
Fred Jeffrey is owner of Lucid and chair of the Downtown Nanaimo Business Association. That's our show for the day. Thank you for joining me. I'm Joe Q, host and producer of Midcoast Morning. Jesse Woodward is our executive producer, and RB Frew is our technical advisor. You can sign up to our newsletter at chly.ca/subscribe for updates from our nonprofit newsroom and more. If you have a story you'd like us to cover, email us at news@chly.ca. Our theme song is First One by local Nanaimo band Waste Management. That's all for now. I'll talk to you on another Midcoast Morning.
Midcoast Morning would not be possible without the funding of the Community Radio Fund of Canada's Radio Meters program and generous listeners like you. Support our news, current affairs, and arts and cultural programming through our nonprofit newsroom project today by making a monthly sustaining donation at chly.ca/donate. This program gives thanks to the Nanaimo First Nation as we broadcast and podcast from their traditional territory. Thanks for listening.